how do we optimize sleep? Optimizing sleep is essential for overall well-being and performance. Okay, here are some quick tips to help you optimize your sleep effectively. Okay, so to have a consistent schedule, for example, going to bed and waking up at the same time every single night is extremely important and can help your circadian rhythm achieve a good rhythm. This helps you regulate, it regulates your kind of like body's internal clock, and you'll have an easier time actually falling asleep if you go to bed at that time that your body's used to and waking up at, the same time every single day. For example, you want to wake up earlier. Okay, simple. You just got to go to bed earlier and you've got to get your brain used to going to bed at that particular time. So you say you go to bed at 10 and you wake up at 6 and you get 8 hours sleep. Okay, so you get a good amount of sleep. So your body knows to fall asleep at 10. So if you get into bed at that time, your body will know to put itself to sleep, and it will then know to wake itself up at 6 o'clock after you've had an adequate amount of sleep. Okay, it's not going to just keep you in bed till like 10 o'clock or something like that because it's slept enough. So it's probably just going to wake you up because it's the start of the day. It's recovered enough. It's slept enough. It's going to wake you up at that time. So if you get into that rhythm of going to bed early and waking up early, you'll be able to wake up earlier without feeling so groggy and tired and in need of a lion. Okay, you have to create a relaxing bedtime schedule as well. So getting in a calm state of mind before you're about to drift off to sleep is always highly important. Developing a calming routine before bed, such as reading, taking a warm bath, or practicing relaxation techniques such as meditation can help you relax and therefore fall asleep. What people consider relaxing is obviously relative, so it depends on the individual. So just do whatever works for you, whatever helps you relax, whether it's having a bath with some like fancy bath bombs and candles and roses, or I don't know, stretching, doing exercise. Some people find that relaxing. That's their form of therapy. However, I probably wouldn't recommend that if you're trying to fall asleep because it's quite stimulating doing exercise. It's probably going to keep you awake, depending on if you burn yourself out, after which you probably will fall asleep quite easily if you're completely and utterly exhausted. However, that's a complete side tangent. I apologize for that. Okay, so next on the list is having a comfortable sleep environment. Of course, this is extremely important. Ensuring your bedroom is conducive to high quality sleep with a comfortable mattress, pillow, and appropriate room temperature, for example, and like blackout blinds as well, making sure the room is completely dark. Some curtains, for example, they're okay when it's actually dark, but when the sun rises, you can see the sunlight through the curtains. They're not particularly optimal for good quality sleep because especially in the summer, when the sun rises earlier, you're probably going to be woken up early by the sun as your eyes absorb the light, and then your brain, it's like, it's go time, wake up, baby. Let's get going. Next, very important. I'm sure everyone knew this was coming, but limiting your exposure to screens is extremely important. Avoid electronic devices with screens, smartphones, tablets, TVs, laptops, whatever it may be. Make sure to stop your usage about an hour before you actually go to bed. The blue light emitted can interfere with your sleep-wake cycle. For example, you can use blue light blocking glasses, or you can, change the setting on your phone, but I wouldn't recommend that. That's a bit of a cop-out. It's just like, oh yeah, don't worry, I use the blue light blocker on my iPhone, so I could just stare at it while I was in bed in the dark. Like, no. Just turn it off. Okay, so the next point is being mindful of your diet. So avoid large meals, caffeine and alcohol close to bedtimes as they can disrupt your sleep, especially caffeine and alcohol. Alcohol, reduces the ability to enter REM sleep and deep sleep, just ultimately providing you with a poorer night's sleep. And caffeine as well will prevent you from actually falling asleep in the first place and can also, prevent you from entering deep sleep. Your ability to recover and rejuvenate during your sleep, even if you get the same amount of sleep, will be much less. Your sleep quality will overall be a lot lower under the influence of caffeine and alcohol close to when you actually sleep. All right. Right. Next on the list is exercise regularly. Okay. So regular physical activity can improve sleep quality. However, strenuous exercise right before bed will probably interrupt your sleep. Exercise influences sleep quality through various mechanisms. Exercise releases endorphins, reducing stress and anxiety, making it easier to actually fall asleep. Exercise raises body temperature, and the post-exercise cool down can signal to the body that it's time for sleep. Regular exercise helps regulate the circadian rhythm, leading to a more consistent sleep sort of wake pattern. Exercise can alleviate symptoms of sleep disorders like sleep apnea and insomnia through various physiological and psychological effects. Okay, so next on the list we have enhanced sleep duration. Regular physical activity contributes to deeper and longer sleep, and exercise can lead to exhaustion, making it easier to actually fall asleep and experience restful sleep in the first place. Okay, so the combined impact of these mechanisms contributes to improved sleep quality and overall well-being. However, it's important to time exercise appropriately and avoid stimulating effects close to bedtime, as this can potentially disrupt sleep for some individuals. Those stimulating effects can be, things like alcohol consumption, and well, that's a depressant, not a stimulant, but exercise, can be one of them as well. Just stuff like that close to bedtime will interrupt your sleep. Okay. Another point, practice sleep reduction techniques like meditation, deep breathing, and progressive muscle relaxation. For example, before going to bed, naps throughout the day can also be an inhibiting factor and might not lead to optimal sleep quality because it kind of interferes with your circadian rhythm. Sleeping throughout the day, your body is not really expecting it. It expects you to obviously sleep when it gets dark at nighttime. Expose yourself to natural light throughout the day as well can help you fall asleep late at night. And as I've already mentioned, like kind of mold your environment around, what's conducive for optimal sleep. So limiting distractions, use blackout curtains, earplugs, or white noise machines to minimize disturbances that can actually disrupt your sleep, for example, as well as like eye masks as well. I find they're extremely useful if your room cannot get properly blacked out when you go to bed. And also, finally, limit your liquid intake before you actually sleep so you don't have to wake up to piss during the night, because that can, waking up to piss just interrupts your sleep. You're awake, although you're, kind of half asleep and very lethargic and tired still, and you can probably fall back asleep instantly afterwards. You've still woken up and it's still interrupted that deep sleep potentially. Okay, so remember that optimizing sleep quality may require some trial and error. Okay, as individual needs and preferences vary, it's essential to prioritize sleep as it's a vital component to your overall marathon training and your ability to perform optimally. Thank you very much for viewing this clip. I do hope it has aided in your journey to achieve optimum living. If you have enjoyed it, please go check out the full-length podcast episode. The link will be in the description below, or you can click right there. Goodbye.